everybody, good afternoon and welcome to That's Football. I hope we're doing well this afternoon. It's another World Cup game and it's Croatia against Belgium and Canada against Morocco to see who will go through in this group. As you can see, the way it stands at the moment, you've got Croatia with 4 points and Morocco with 4 points, a +3 and a +2 situation. Belgium have 3 points, -1, and Canada, as we know, are out. There's nothing Canada can do. Bit of pride for Canada maybe, but they can't do anything other than that. Morocco with a win against Canada will go through. Nothing can stop that. A win for Belgium will put them through as well because they would leapfrog Croatia and Canada can't qualify. So Belgium, the brief is very simple. They need to win. A draw for Belgium will not put them through. They would have 4 points, but a draw would not put them through. With -1 goal difference, Canada would need to beat Morocco by 3 goals to send Belgium through with a draw. So lots and lots to look forward to on this game. I hope you're looking forward to it. Thanks to everyone who's tuning in. And yeah, Belgium have got to go and deliver, haven't they? Simple as that. Belgium have to go and deliver. Eden Hazard has been dropped by Belgium. They had to take responsibility. I think Belgium are very lucky to not be out already. And I think Canada are very unlucky to not still be in it. They shouldn't have lost to Belgium. They did, and that's cost them dearly. But let's go through the teams. Croatia, Livakovic, Juranovic, Lovren, Vardiel, Sosa, Modric, Brozovic and Kovacic. Very good midfield three. Kramaric, Livia and Perisic on their team. And then Belgium, Courtois, Dendoncker, Alderweireld, Vertonghen. I hope they go out. I really hope Belgium go out. I mean, what the hell? Alderweireld, Vertonghen and Dendoncker. Meunier, Castagnet, De Bruyne, Witsel, Trossard, Carrasco and Mertens. It's like we're playing in 2014. I can't believe how there surely is somebody in Belgium that can do the job. Like, why have you got this complete and utter useless coach? I think Croatia will win this. I can't see them losing to Belgium. Absolutely. And how are Belgium ranked number 2? That's what she said. How are they ranked number 2? They're a dreadful side with a dreadful coach and a dreadful mentality, and they're stuck in the past. They should be sponsored by UK Gold or the History Channel. I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And I'm not anti-Belgium. I'm looking at your bench and I'm saying, why is Faye not playing? Why is Tillemans not playing? Why is, De Ketelaere not playing? Why is Doku not playing? Like, you've got 4 or 5 younger players that are part of your future. If you had nothing else, I get it. But you have actually got 4 or 5 players that are mid-20s, early 20s that can be part of your future. And you're sending a team like that out. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And you can have it pop at me if you're from Belgium, but you know I'm talking sense. You know, I don't get why you're putting a team like that out. Ridiculous, really. But let me just get Canada, Morocco on. Croatia could well be, I'm loath to say that Croatia are going to be dark horses for this tournament. Have you heard the news that FSG are leaning to a partial sale as United 2004? I haven't. And Martinez is Southgate Mark II, says Tom Grant. I think he's worse than Southgate. Hi Mark, I'm back. Kevin De Bruyne said it's best too old, says Josh Bishop. Denier is more than good enough to play centre-back for Belgium. As I say, I like the Leicester one, Faze or Faz or whatever you call him. I think Belgium deserves to get knocked out. I felt bad for Mexico yesterday, but I think that they deserve to get knocked out. I think when you've got a coach that's picking a team like that, it shows no imagination. It's completely lazy, and you deserve to go out. So I hope that Belgium go out and Morocco and Croatia go through. But you know, that doesn't mean we don't always get what we want. We don't always get what we want, do we? So we'll see. Right, the Stats Carousel is sponsored by OneFootball. Top left-hand corner to scan the QR code and get it downloaded for yourselves. Link is in the description as well. What is OneFootball? It's a football app where you can get all your latest breaking football news, transfer news and stats completely for free. Download it through the link in the description. It's available on all platforms and it is free. The stats will be updated as it goes around. There's the Croatian lineup, the Belgium lineup. We'll have the group updating as well. That was very exciting yesterday. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I don't normally get the 3 o'clock game this week. I think this is my first 3 o'clock game that I've had. So I chose it. I went for it. I said that I think this is an interesting group. I don't pick my games. I do pull rank. Of course I pull rank. I'm the founder of this channel. But as it expands, it's been a brilliant World Cup. I've loved it. I can give you an exclusive as well. You need to be watching these watch-alongs because hot breaking news for That's Football. We've listened. We've taken it on board. Some people might not like it. But before the quarterfinals, Goldbridge and Ricky will be in the studio doing a watch-along. People have asked for it. When two, well, you can describe what we are, but it's going to happen. Ricky and Goldbridge in a studio watching a World Cup game together. Their tactical conversations and where it's going to go will be legendary because we have actually got some very different ideas. So be very, very, very interesting. I'm looking forward to doing that. Which one? That's the spoiler. It's a bit like an advent calendar. You'll just have to keep watching the watch-alongs and one day you'll get the chocolate. Or these days, fucking hell, God knows what you get. I mean, I was looking at one of the kids' advent calendars today and I was like, what the hell is this? What is this? It was like a different sweet every day. I couldn't believe it. I remember... Oh, Croatia nearly scored the quickest goal there. Perisic, edge of the box, shoots. It would have been a 5-second goal. It's quite far wide, but it could have been. 4-second goal. 4-second goal. But you know what? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that with Ricky. I know when it's going to be. Could I drop a hint? I could drop a hint. But I'm not going to. Yeah, we won't get any 0-0s today. You're not really going to get 0-0s in a... Here we go. Go on, Croatia. Come on, Croatia. Come on, Croatia. Go for it, Croatia. Come on, Croatia. Why didn't you shoot, you twat? Belgium looking dodgy at the back here. They're looking dodgy. They're looking really dodgy. All the resistance of a Poppadom in a tsunami at the moment. Is that the wind one or is that the sea one? I think that's the sea one. Poppadom wouldn't stand up to either anyway. DJ says there's Mark's impartiality out the window. I like the Belgium kit. I don't like Belgium. I like Belgium, the country, the people. But I don't like Belgium because you're managed. There's nothing more irritating than seeing a team managed by a crap manager. Trust me, I've had this at club level and at national level. And I cannot... Belgium fans should be agreeing with me anyway. Belgian people should be on my side. You're managed by a complete and utter prat. Klaus says that Marco Lavia is the GOAT up front for Croatia. Let me know how you pronounce his name. I've got no idea. I don't even know who he plays for. I don't know much about him. I'll put my hand up. I know loads, but I don't know much about him. I love hockey, Dan. I love hockey. Belgium could win it. The winners of this will play probably Germany. The winners of this group will probably play Germany, and the second place team will probably play Spain. So they're both probably going to go out, to be fair. My Troop says, I agree with you, Mark, and I'm from Belgium. Oh, can I just say as well, please do subscribe to the channel. I thought we hit 850k yesterday. We didn't. We're about 50 short. So bottom right-hand corner. Livia says, plays for Zagreb, says Andre. Thank you very much. He scored 28 goals this season in the league. Wow. Wow. He's 29, isn't he? There's a goal! There's a goal in the game against Canada, and it's Ziyech, and it's a goal for Morocco. Goal for Morocco. That puts them top of the group. Goal Morocco. Keeper's not happy. Canadian, obviously. But we've got a goal. And it's a goal for Morocco. All I saw was it going over the line. It's hard sometimes to keep an eye on two games. We definitely have a goal. They're really slow on the replays in this bloody World Cup, aren't they? Really slow. Oh, let's have a look at bloody Infantino as well. Let's see what shit he can spout today. Oh yeah, back to the keeper. What is he doing? Check his bank account. That is absolutely terrible. Goes to the keeper, who, I don't know what he's trying to do. I'd almost look at that and say, do check his bank account. Because he literally passes it to Ziyech. Weird keeping. Like, there's no sense to what he does. In every situation, he comes out of his goal, you boot it, and he literally passes it to Ziyech about 20 yards away. Check his bank account. Colin says no, he just panics, but he puts a lot of power on that panic pass, mate. Morocco, if they win, definitely go through. Ziyech scored it. Well, there we go. A 5-minute goal. We don't normally get them. Will Germany make it out of their group? 100%, Tom. So Germany are playing Costa Rica tonight. And there's just no way that they won't qualify because they will get 3 points for that. And basically, that will put them in second place behind Spain. Well, we're assuming Spain will beat Japan, which they have to. If there was a draw between Japan and Spain, then Germany could be in trouble because they lost to Japan on a head-to-head. But I don't think Spain will draw. I mean, Spain could play a tactical draw to knock Germany out, but I don't think they will. I suspect Spain will beat Japan and top the group, and Germany will beat Costa Rica and come second. That's my belief. Some people yesterday were saying, what side of the group are England on, and who would they play in the semi-finals? They would be on the side of the group that has got France would be in the quarterfinal for England, and then you've got F1, H1. So F1 and H1 is going to be not Brazil, it's Portugal and this. So Croatia. So semi-final would probably be Portugal and Croatia. I think I've got that right. It's very difficult to figure it out. So knockout stage. Well, no, they could get G2 and E2. G2 and E2. F1. So basically F1, H1, E2, G2. God, it sounds like fucking Star Wars. F1, E2, Germany could be on England's side. And what was the other one? Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to be on Brazil's side. I think on England's side you're going to get Portugal, France, and probably Germany as the favourites. Yeah, Brazil and Spain will be on the other side, and Argentina. So Brazil, Argentina, Spain are on one side, and England, France, Portugal, and probably Germany on the other side. Yeah, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Vardiel is a monster, says Nico. Well, I'm surprised that Lovren's still playing, but, you know, Croatia are a good side, aren't they? I do like Croatia. I mean, we could have all picked them as the dark horse of the tournament, but when you get to the World Cup in 2018, how can you be a dark horse in 2022 when you got to the final? Yeah, Antmar's right. England cannot play Argentina until the final. But Morocco winning 1-0 here puts them top of the group at the moment. Daniel, don't worry, I'll get it for you, mates. I'll go get it for you. Yeah, I mean, look, happy 1st of December if you're interested in that. Advent calendar day for number 1. What was behind your door? I haven't got a celebrations. Advent calendar this year, so I can't really get involved in that debate. But I know last year there was wasn't it 4 bounties in a row? Delta says pronounce Marko Livaja. Plays for Hajduk Split. Other guy said he plays for Dynamo Zagreb because they are rivals. It's a joke. Okay, so he plays for Hajduk Split and it's Livaja. Mark, will Germany make it out of the group? Says Tom B. Yes. Thoughts on Australia going through to the round of 16? Says Daniel. Loved it. Really looking forward to your game against Argentina on Saturday. My pick of the knockout game so far is Netherlands-USA on Saturday afternoon. And I'm going to say this now. I'm Team USA. I'm Team USA. Goldbridge is going to be unbiased. I'm normally quite happy just to watch a game of football, but sometimes I think bias comes into it. I'm Team USA on Saturday, whether people like it or not. I am. I can't apologise because I don't want to. I'm Team USA. We're 40 subscribers away from 850k. Come on, let's subscribe, share the video, get somebody new in to subscribe. Chance for Belgium on the back post. He's going to shoot. Rubbish. Should have passed. Should have passed. I could be jinxing USA by supporting USA. Why are you Team USA, says Kingley? Because I like USA. I think they've played really well. I think they've played some of the best football in the tournament. I don't think they're the best team in the tournament, but they've played some of the best football in the tournament. And also, I want Gakpo to go out the World Cup because his price just keeps going up and up. And we need people to forget about him. United want Gakpo regardless of what he does in the World Cup. So, yeah. I've got nothing against the Netherlands, but I just want USA to win. I think the Netherlands will be favourites. They've got the more experienced players. I mean, look at the quality of the Netherlands. You've got people like Van Dijk, Gakpo, De Jong. Got good players, but is Pulisic out? Ashkan says the injury is quite bad. Vance says you're doing it for a green card. I've had offers to go and work in America. I don't need a green card. To be fair, if NBC offered me a 6-month contract to go and work in New York covering football, I'd go. Why not? I could still do it. They've got the internet in New York. I'd love it. I'd go and work in New York for 6 months. I don't know why I'm saying 6 months. I'd go and work in New York for a year. Give me a show on NBC Sports or one of the other ones. You can keep doing United Stand and That's Football. We'll give you a little studio. New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. I'd fancy a bit of that. Especially as I've been giving them such a big shout out. There's De Bruyne on the break. Belgium are doing quite well now, De Bruyne, what a ball. Oh, fucking hell. Talk about ball. Mertens bloody hits the satellite again. Apparently, the NASA pilots and spacecrafts and have been given red warning while the World Cup's going on because there's so many high shots that they're worried about being hit. Good game this, as Al said. It has been a good game, yeah. Martinez. Just a bold Southgate, isn't he? X Lawson says that goes in if it's Haaland, who is neither Belgian or right-footed. Lovely play by De Bruyne, that was. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, let us know in the chat what advent calendar you got. And if you got celebrations, what was the chocolate today? Because everyone gets the same. They don't mix it up. Martinez is worse than Southgate, I think, Julian, because at least Southgate will mix it up a little bit. He will bring Bellingham in, he will bring Rashford in and, you know, drop Sterling, etc. Martinez has got players on the bench that are better than the old-timers, and he still won't bloody change it. Shoot, shoot, shoot! Oh. Penalty! Penalty! Anthony Taylor's given a penalty. I didn't see it. I mean, look, he's a crap ref. I apologise to the Belgians. I didn't see what happened here. And I'm not a big fan of Anthony Taylor. So I've got to say, this might not be a penalty. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I think he's giving it for a handball on Carrasco. I've just got to get the door. I think it's a handball. Watch it back. Watch it back. Yeah, handball, mate. Handball. What do we think? What do we think in the chat? Penalty or not? It's a foul. He's giving it for a foul. I think it's soft. Let's start a poll. Penalty or not? Let me know in the chat. Oh, they're checking it on VAR. Anthony Taylor will look a right prat if this gets overturned. Because if it gets overturned, he's going to look a right prat. He's going to look a right prat. Supporting US for speed, says Addy. They shouldn't overrule it because they don't... Oh, he's going to have a look. Okay, he's obviously fucked up. They never overrule a referee giving a penalty because they want to stick by the ref. It's only if it's a clear and obvious error. It looks like it might get overruled here. Let's have a look. Oh no, they're going to go for an offside. Well, it's not offside because the Belgian player wins the header. Belgian player, or does it hit the Croatian player? Oh, he might be giving a penalty here. Oh, fucking hell, the door's getting on my tits here. Fuck off. Like bloody Santa today. It's that time of year, isn't it? It's that time of year, parcels. No penalty then. No penalty. Someone in the chat, let me know. Offside given. I mean, answers on a postcard. Offside. People are saying it wasn't a penalty. Mark, there's a release clause of 120 million in Enzo Fernandez contract. AM Keen. No, I'm not talking about that. I think answers on a postcard there. Well, the world are waking up to Anthony Taylor. You know, we already know this from the Premier League. We already know what it's all about, don't we? So, Matt, absolutely confused. Good use of VAR, says Colin. I think the offside element of it is a bit of a joke. The penalty was a joke. And DJ says, if it's offside, why does the ref need to check the screen? Exactly. I think I think the offside's dodgy. Josh says they sent Anthony Taylor to check the offside. They don't need to do that. He's not offside anyway. He's not offside. They've just shown he's not offside. Oh, fucking hell. Jonathan Pearce said he's one of the best referees in Europe. Yeah, but Jonathan Pearce is one of the worst commentators in Europe. So it wasn't offside. They've just shown it wasn't offside. Ayanda's back and says that miss me. Anyways, do you have an update on Ivory Coast? I think they're playing on Friday, mate. We're still waiting for them to start this tournament. What a dog's breakfast decision. I'm none the wiser. You can't be offside on your hand. It's your t-shirt line. You're not off. This part of your arm's not offside. It's your t-shirt line. It's there. You're offside from there. You're not offside from there, are you? So he gave. Look, we're in a debate here. He gave the penalty for a foul. They then asked him to review offside, which is their job, and then they've not given the penalty. So I think people are saying his shoulder was marginally offside. I mean, the second thing is, I don't think he's interfering with play. He doesn't touch the ball. But Anthony Taylor actually gave it for a foul, which I don't think was there. I couldn't even see what the foul was. So justice has probably been served in an indirect way. The problem is justice has been served through the wrong way. They should have just said it's not a penalty for a foul. There was no foul. I can't see where the foul was. I thought it was for a hand side. I thought it was for a handball. So it shouldn't have been a penalty, but the confusion around it is what makes the game a ridicule point, isn't it? Morocco 2-0. 2-0 to Morocco. Morocco are heading through, and Morocco, well, there's no point looking at it at the moment. They're top of the group at the moment, and Croatia would be second, which would put Morocco up against Probably Germany. What's happened to Canada? They've just down tools, haven't they? Been very impressive, Morocco. Hi, Mark. What is 14 times 3? Doing homework and can't use a calculator. You having a laugh, Mr. Vinegar? 52. It's very rare with when a referee gives a penalty. We see it in the Premier League every week. They very rarely tell them to review it. Oh, it's 42, isn't it? Canadian keeper is suspect, says White Owl. Hi, Mark. Done that one. Once again, FIFA failed to communicate to the viewers. I don't think it's the initial ball. I think it's the second phase is the reason the ref went to the screen, says Snacks Monster. If Belgium win, they put Croatia out. Hi, Mark. Can you please shout out my friend? Says Danny. Chuck. What's a hand side, says SD. It's when I get mixed up between handball and offside. I'm very tired today. I'm not with it today. As you probably noticed by my crap maths and hand side, I didn't get much sleep last night. Blame it on Mrs. Goldbridge. And not for that reason. I wish it was that reason, but it's not. It was a restless night. I tell you what, Colin, I'm with you. The replays in this World Cup have been absolutely shit. And fair play to Sky and BT and Amazon, because we're spoilt in the Premier League on how quick they get the replays done. This is a FIFA tournament and it's an absolute farce. It's always the same though. When you're in the Premier League, Sky, they're in control. You know, if Martin Tyler's doing the commentary, they're listening to Martin Tyler and they're throwing it into his ear. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. Because FIFA are providing this feed to the world, they can't individualise the commentary. So you're in the hands of them. Nicholas says, I'm just happy that we're here as Canada. I think Canada have just down tools now. Which you can understand. They're out. It's the third game. You know, you just want to go home, really, don't you? Yeah, people will say we'll play for pride, but pride's hard to play for. And Insight says Morocco are the real dark horses. I was just thinking that earlier, I do. I want to run a poll, actually. I'm going to run a poll here. I'm going to do it on age because, obviously, I would say... Well, I'll tell you what I would say afterwards. But we're going to go off the last 4 World Cups. Which is the best World Cup? 2010, 2014, 2018, or 2022. So you've got South Africa 2010, you've got Brazil 2014, you've got Russia 2018, and you've got Qatar 2022. Which is your favourite World Cup out of those 4? And that should be good because as long as you are... I mean, anybody can pretty much answer that. You could be 15 and still be able to answer that. So let us know in the chat. What's your favourite World Cup out of the last 4? My favourite World Cup out of all of them, I loved Italia 90. It was my first World Cup that I remember. That is nostalgic, but actually, Italia 90 was brilliant from England's point of view. England-Germany in that semi-final is one of the best World Cup games I've ever watched. It's always better when it's your country, but it was a very good game of football as well. I liked 94. I think if England had been in 94, it would have been an amazing World Cup. 98 was a good World Cup. I did like 98. England went out a bit early, but I did like 98. 2002, I don't think I did like 2002. 2006 was okay. I don't like 2010 World Cup, and I think it's because of England and Capello. I probably didn't enjoy it because England was shit, but a lot of people like 2010. England was shit in 2014, but I did really like it. 2018, it was entertaining, but I thought the quality was crap. When England are getting to the semi-final with Dele Alli and Lingard in the midfield, I think that says a lot about the quality. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what you go with. Bloody hell, 35% have gone with 2010. You see, I think 2010 might have been a good World Cup that I didn't like because England was shit. 2014 I did like. 2018 and 2022 are the lowest at the moment. It's between 2014 and 2010. Colin Burns says, nice poll, interesting. Well, the reason I've done the poll, Colin, is in the last couple of days on social media, I've seen people I follow on Twitter that I quite like saying this is the best World Cup of their life. And I'm like, either they've banged their head and they've lost their memory, or they've only got into football in the last 3 years, because I can't understand how anybody who's watched the 2014 World Cup would put this ahead of that. Like, I know we're only in the group stage, but that World Cup was magic. It was in Brazil for a start, which is, to me, just makes location win. But the football was very good as well. 2014 World Cup was very good. Probably my favourite of the last 20 years, really. But then again, you don't know who's being paid to say this World Cup's good. I think that this World Cup, where they've done it really well, is I know so many influencers who've gone to Qatar on really good money, and basically their job is to be in the stadium. Look at this, it's great, it's great. I don't think we've ever had that before, and I would take my hat off to Qatar for that. They've really put a lot of money into promoting this World Cup. We've never had a World Cup like this where it's like, everybody, it's a shame the football's not always been that good, because any moment there has been, they've got wall-to-wall coverage of, oh, this is amazing, this is amazing. They put a lot of effort into that. As I said, I've never known so many people go to a World Cup, or so many people be offered to go to a World Cup. I would be shocked if there are no upsets in the round of 16. I expect at least one big favourite to get knocked out quick. Hard to guess though, says Myron. Yeah, I can't predict two, but I think you're right. Mark, I thought offside when the player in offside position pursues the ball, or is it only offside when the player touches the ball? I'm confused. If you're active, you can be offside, Joshua. If you think about it like this, if somebody has a shot and the player who's offside is in the line of the... I didn't realise Thierry Henry worked for Belgium. God, get that off your CV, mate. Yeah, so you cannot touch the ball and be offside. If you're active, you can be considered offside. Lovely ball out wide here to Croatia. Perisic lays it off. Get a shot off, mate. Shoot. Good block. So hard to shoot from the edge of the box with this ball, isn't it? You sense the hesitation with them to do it. Mark, how about a poll on best World Cup theme song? I don't even know the theme songs, SD. Do you remember when Iceland beat England in the quarterfinals in the Euros 2016, says Isaac? I mean, I have a recollection of it. I can't say that I have got strong knowledge of it. Waka Waka, a lot of people are saying. Was that Shakira? Oh, God, why do people keep asking me what's your thoughts on Australia making it out of that group stage? Like I haven't spoken about it 20 times. I think it's great. I was so pleased for them yesterday. I think Argentina will knock you out, but, I mean, if I could pick a game where it would be a shock that I would like, it would probably be that. Morocco winning 2-0 at the moment, mindless. 2-0 at the moment to Morocco. Remember, Belgium do need to win. Morocco are flying through this group at the moment. It's Belgium or Croatia. Morocco are going through. They've got the 6 points. They're going through. What year was the Zidane headbutts? 2006. It was in the final. And that's why Pottersy likes it. As a Swede, definitely 94, third place in our best ever World Cup. People here still talk about it like it just happens, says Isaac. I liked the 94 World Cup. But like I say, I think so many of my World Cups are tainted by England. And as I said, 2010, we were just so depressingly bad. I couldn't look at the rest of the tournament, really. But then, again, we were shit in 2014 and I loved it. I think that was probably the changing point for me. I think after 2010, I really stopped giving a shit about England. I mean, I like us to win, but I don't let it control my whole tournament. And I started enjoying tournament football a lot more after 2010 because I just started enjoying football instead of being, tribal. The final in 94 was shit, Roland. Yeah, Italy-Brazil was a letdown, which is probably why I'm not massive about 2006 because Italy won that again. And I do like Italy, but they're normally a hard watch. I mean, Italy's best tournament was the Euros. They were actually very good in the Euros. They were a good watch, but England were terrible in 2014. I remember staying up to watch us playing the first game, and I think Phil Neville was the commentator or co-commentator, and he was fucking dreadful. Did Costa Rica have best ever run in 2014, says Miles. Well, England and Italy were favourites to go through that group in 2014 and we both went out. Croatia on the attack here. Go on, play him in. Lovely ball. Lovely ball. Who else was in our group? Was it Slovenia and Costa Rica? Will Germany 7, Brazil 1 be beaten as the biggest shock? That was amazing to watch, Charlie Masters. It really was. That was Uruguay in our group. Yeah. I think Slovenia might have been 2010 then. Harry Kane to Bayern, what do you think, says Aslam? It could happen. I actually think he might come to United. I don't know what. I think he wants to break the Premier League goal scoring record, which he will do if he stays in the Premier League. So I think he'll stay in the Prem. I just get this feeling United will go for him, especially with new ownership. I wouldn't go for Kane. I like him, but I don't think he's the right signing for United at 30. But I wouldn't be surprised if United go for him. Yeah, 2014 World Cup was brilliant. I loved that Van Persie goal, like you say. Josh just mentioned that as well. Seven minutes to go to half time. Morocco are 2-0 up. That's how the group looks at the moment. As you can see, Morocco are cruising through with 7 points. 2 wins and a draw is very impressive. I mean, that's one of the highest totals we've had. I think it's the highest total we have had. Nobody's gone above 6 yet. So Morocco are cruising through at the moment, and it's really down to Belgium to beat Croatia, to knock Croatia out. But they don't look like they will. Could be foggy tonight. Please do subscribe, by the way. We're only 10 away from 850,000. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Every watch along on That's Football for the World Cup. Thanks everyone who's been getting involved. Of course, Saturday we start the knockouts. Do you have that scary feeling that the Glazers might stay, says Josh? I'd be very surprised if they did. Very surprised if they did. Netherlands got 7 points and so did England. But, I mean, still, no one's beat 7 points, have they? No one's got 9. Very, very good score from Morocco. And I got a goal for Canada. Canada have scored here. Keepers are not having a very good game. I don't know whether it deflects in. Bono, too busy writing a new album for you too. I think it might deflect in. Canada might not have given up the ghost here. Lovely little bit of play on the left. Deflects. It's deflected. Bono can't do a lot about it. It's a cross and it deflects off. It's a very lucky goal for Canada. Left back puts the cross in. Deflects off a defender and into the bottom corner. And Bono can't get a strong enough hand on it. So it's 2-1. Well, Morocco will go through anyway with a draw. But obviously at the moment they're top in the group with the win. Finder says, do you think the penalty was offside? I need to look at it at half time because I was in and out at the time. I had a delivery to get. So here's Belgium. All right across the face of the goal, but no one's there to tap it home. I'm going to close the poll on best World Cup in the last 10 years. So interestingly, this is voted for by you. Best World Cup. In joint last, 2022 and 2018 got 14% of the votes. In second place, South Africa 2010 got 34% of the vote. And then top, your favourite World Cup of the last 4 is Brazil 2014 by 38%. So very clear winners, Brazil 2014 and South Africa 2010. Many of you putting in third place, Qatar and Russia. I thought the group stage of Russia was good, but I thought the knockout stage was a bit shit. I mean, like I say, when you've got England in the semi-finals with Dele Alli and Lingard in the midfield, you know something's wrong with the quality. That's good for a stretch. Oh, needed that. Oh, though no one understood, we were holding back the blood. Another 0-0 at half time. We will get a goal in the Croatia-Belgium game, but it's looking like it's going to be another 0-0 here at half time. Amazing. It is actually amazing how many 0-0s we've had at half time. I don't know statistically how many games in the Premier League are 0-0 at half-time, but we've had a massive amount of games 0-0 in this. Next World Cup has the potential to be the worst, with it in 3 countries and 16 groups of 3 and penalties in the group stage. Penalties in the group stage, AMK? What are you talking about? I think this might be the last... Look, it'll either go brilliantly well or terribly bad. My hunch is that this will be the last decent World Cup. A 48-game World Cup is going to be very, very difficult to cover. And this World Cup isn't over yet, Tony. You're right. Why will it be the last decent one? Because we're going to go from 32 teams to 48 teams. And I just think that how do you get a decent group stage when you're going to get so many lesser quality teams? You're going to see games like... Look, we're never going to have a World Cup again where you don't get an Italy or a Sweden qualifying. We're not going to get that anymore. Like, the qualification for the World Cup may as well be friendlies from now on. It's going to be so easy. And also, you're going to get a lot of games where Brazil are playing, I don't agree with the 48-game World Cup. There's no point in even having qualifications for it. I don't even agree with England or France being in qualifying groups with people like Luxembourg or San Marino. It's just the biggest waste of time. We need more of we need divisions, really. Like, we don't need a situation in international football where the likes of France are being put in qualifying groups with San Marino. It's a waste of time. There should be tiers to this. Like, if you want international football to become more appealing, make it more competitive. Don't make it more of a bloody joke. I like 32 teams. I think that's about right. You still get 1 or 2 games. I mean, look, Qatar have been a bloody waste of time, haven't they? But they're the host, so you can't moan about it. But they have been absolutely terrible in this World Cup. Apart from Qatar, has anybody else been really rubbish? I mean, Wales haven't been very good, but I've got a soft spot for the Welsh. But you don't want more Qatars and Wales. You want competition. The thing I've liked about this group stage is this: you don't always get a situation where the third group game is competitive. A lot of the past World Cup games on the third stage are dead rubber, and we haven't had that. It's been fantastic. I think 48-team World Cup just creates more crap games. I've got 4 minutes added on here. We'll get to see we'll get to see in a minute. We've hit 850k, by the way. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Morocco have scored again. 3-1 to Morocco. They ain't pissing about here, are they? Fair play to them. They're not pissing around. They've taken that deflected goal and they've come back. Oh, he's offside. He's offside. So this is how a 48-team thing will work. The tournament will open up with a group stage consisting of 16 groups of 3 teams. So there'll be 3 teams in 16 groups, no more 4 teams. Top 2 teams progress from each group to a knockout tournament, starting with a round of 32. Okay, so we're going to get an extra knockout game. We're going to lose a group game. So you'll have 2 games in the group instead of 4. But we'll get an extra knockout game. So 16 groups of 3. The top 2 go through, and then you go into a knockout game in the 32. The number of games played overall will increase from 64 to 80, but the number of games played by the finalists remains at 7 if you get to the final. So there won't be any extra games for teams, but we will get extra games to watch, if that makes sense. I mean, it's half time, so we'll see we'll have a look at half time about what happened with that goal. But the interesting thing for me is that 16. We're going to lose the four. I like the 14 groups. So we're going to go to 3 team groups. So England could be in a group with. You could get England, Croatia, and Qatar. It does scream at people at FIFA wanting more money, Travis. Mark, this Canadian goalkeeper is like your goalkeeper in FIFA, says Pottersy. So we're at 0-0 here. Tio says that Belgium have been terrible this World Cup. Well, the funny thing about Belgium is that they're still only a goal away from going through if they can get a result. So we're going to see on the TV now why the penalty wasn't given. So just let me observe this for a moment. We were talking in the first half about what the best World Cup is of the last 12 years. We had about 6,000 people voted. 2014 in Brazil won with 38% of the vote. South Africa was second with 34% of the vote. And Qatar and Russia were way down in third. I'm just waiting to see it now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. We have hit 850k today. Fantastic effort from everybody. Thanks everyone who's been tuning in for all the watch-alongs. Every watch-along we're doing on this channel, on That's Football, you're all very, very welcome. Croatia look very average. Belgium will go through, says Ivan Whelan. People don't like the idea of change. I don't think it sounds that bad, to be honest, as insight. I think a 48-team World Cup sounds abysmal because... is the quality there in a 32-game Team World Cup? We've still had 3 or 4 teams that are shite. The quality doesn't get better. I mean, there's only 3 teams I can think of that could improve the quality of this tournament that aren't there. Italy and then 1 or 2 others, depending on what they're like at that World Cup. I don't think there's a space for another 16 teams to make it better. You're going to be adding in shit. And in fact... The continent that I think has got the most quality to add to the World Cup is the African one, because the African nations are very similar in their... It's very hard to qualify, but I don't know how they're allocating the extra spots. I'd be interested to know. Should have been a penalty, says Antonio. I'd be interested to know, when we go from 32 to 48 teams, who's getting what? How's it being allocated? Is it 10 for Europe and 2 for Africa, or is it distributed fairly? That'd be the interesting thing. Right, we're going to watch this back now. It's on the BBC. Penalty incident. Cross comes in, headed away. Where's the foul anyway? Oh, Carrasco there. Okay, I didn't see that. On Kramerich. No, I don't think he even touches him. It's never a penalty, the foul. The foul's never a penalty. Now, offside. I can't see how he's offside. Surely the shirt of the Belgian player is further on. I thought it was the T-shirt line. I mean, that offside's dodgy, isn't it? I don't even understand the offside anyway. I thought it was where the T-shirt line was. No solidarity in this Belgium team. Players going after each other and a clueless manager is playing favourites and having no authority, says Chiri. Well, it was ruled out for offside and it was given for a foul that I don't think was a foul. It's just, I agree with KP, no foul and no offside. So we got where we needed to be, but we got to where we needed to be through complete and utter incompetence. I don't really understand that offside. It's the defender's head that counts and the attacker's shirt, says Beto. And Vertonghen wins the header anyway. I mean, he is interfering with play. He goes for the header, but it's a weird one. Apparently, the Morocco have been robbed as well, Shadow. I'm going to keep an eye on that one because I've got them both on. But anyway, it's 0-0 at half-time. That's the main picture that I want to discuss. Of course, as things stand at the moment, this is how the group looks. And Morocco are out in front with 7 points. They're winning 2-1. So they will qualify top of the group. Croatia could go top of the group if they were to win. They get another 2 points and they would go top of the group. But Belgium could also finish second in this scenario if they beat Croatia. So it's still very much to play for in the group stage at the moment. But the only way to see Haaland in the World Cup is to increase the number of teams, says Per-Erik Klassen. And how the hell is he offside? His shoulder's off. You can't score with your arms, so why are they drawing lines on players' shirts, says Ivan Whelan. And it's the defender's head that counts, apparently, and not the attacker's shirt, says Beto. I hate people saying it's ridiculous to draw a line there for offside. You have to draw the line somewhere. Very easy to criticise, says Harry O'Kane. I think, Harry, the big problem is, and we keep saying this, the clarity on a game that's very simple. Football has survived for over 100 years with a very simple format. Put the ball in the back of the net, win a game of football. We now have a system of rules which are so subjective that even with lines and even with VAR, it's still so open to interpretation. I don't think we've ever, VAR and technology is meant to be making football better, but the rules are too subjective. If the handball rule was if it hits your hand, it's a penalty, everyone would be fine. But it's like the handball that Uruguay conceded. That's never a handball for me. And you've got people saying, yeah, but if it doesn't hit his hand, he's through 1-on-1. The rules don't say that. The rules don't say a handball is accidental unless they're through 1-on-1. It's either accidental or it's not. And for me, Uruguay, that was accidental. It stopped a goal, but it was still a handball. It was a handball and it stopped a goal, but it was still accidental. There's too much that's subjective. I personally would rather, as a United fan or an England fan, know that if it hits somebody's hand, deliberate or not, it's a penalty, because it would get rid of a lot of the conversations that we have about what's unnatural, what's natural. It's just one of them things. If it hits your hand, it's a penalty. I'd rather have that. With offside, again, let everybody be clear about what part of what body is offside, because apparently it's the head for a defender, but it's the shirt sleeve for an attacker. I don't get that. Let's have a bit of clarity about that. I think they just need to simplify the rules so that the fans know what they are. I mean, the biggest problem I see is that fans just don't understand the rules because they're so subjective and vague. Let's have a look at the stats at half-time in this game, by the way, just to see which way it's going. I thought Croatia started quite well, but as it stands at the moment, 53% possession to Belgium, actually. 6 shots to 5, 0 on target. It is 0-0 at half-time, 1 corner each. Passing, it's just a very, very equal, boring game. And at some point, Belgium are going to have to open up. This game won't finish 0-0 because it's a game that doesn't benefit anybody to finish 0-0, apart from Croatia. Belgium are going to push for it in the second half, but We haven't had a 0-0 in nearly a week. The last 0-0 we had was USA-England. We had 5 0-0s in the first 6 days. We haven't had a 0-0 for 6 days. So I don't think we're going to get a 0-0 today. I can't see it. Harry says that offside with VAR is simple. Offside is objective. Can't debate it. And it has been done well by VAR this tournament, says Harry. Well, Harry, that's your opinion. You don't speak for the world. You know, you don't. You're not the president. You're not President Harry. You're not Prime Minister Harry. You're not King Harry. You're just somebody with an opinion. And I don't think everybody agrees with you that VAR has been good this World Cup, or the offsides have been good. I'm sorry, I don't agree with you, Harry. But fair play for having an opinion. Do you think the 2030 World Cup should be in South America, with Uruguay hosting the final to celebrate 100 years of World Cup football? Sorry, I'm going to keep asking, says Antmar. I don't know where the candidates for the next World Cup is going to be. I would like to see... Russia was 18, Middle East now, North America in 2018, in 2026. I think it might go back to Europe. I think it might go back to Europe for 2030, and then South America after that. Morocco's leading the race. I mean, that would be great. Africa, definitely. I want to go to the. I've said it before. I want to go to the USA World Cup anyway. I'm just having a look at the offside rule here. This is from the official FA website. A player in an offside position at the moment the ball is played or touched by a team is only penalised on becoming involved in an active play by interfering with the play, or touching a ball passed or touched by a teammate, preventing an opponent from playing or being able to play the ball by clearly obstructing them, challenging an opponent for the ball, which is what happened there. So that is offside because he was challenging Vertonghen for the ball. And a player is in an offside position if any part of the head, body or feet is in the opponent's half, excluding the halfway line, etc. The hands and arms of all players, including the goalkeepers, are not considered for the purpose of determining offside. The upper boundary of the arm is in line with the bottom of the armpit. A player is not in an offside position if level with the second last operator. So the hands and arms of all players, including the goalkeepers, are not considered for the purpose of determining offside. The upper boundary of the arm is in line with the bottom of the armpit. Okay, so effectively, the shirt sleeve thing is a load of bollocks. It's always been the armpit. See, again, they don't put this out there enough. When we speak of these bad nations in the World Cup, we don't speak of why it comes down to the foreigners rule that some leagues that foreigners can play if their nation is ranked under 50 in FIFA, says AMK. Good point. And Mark, with the World Cup changing to 42 teams, will we see San Marino in the World Cup? No. The Fazackerley family, that won't happen because there are well over 100 teams. Jack says, you're confusing the sleeve thing for handball. Maybe I am. I think the biggest surprise nation I haven't seen in the World Cup was Trinidad and Tobago. I'd like to see more island nations in the World Cup, says Antmar. I've seen Trinidad in the World Cup. What was the World Cup where Peter Crouch pulled the hair? Was that 2010? That was Trinidad, wasn't it? Yorkshire pudding video will be out in the next few weeks, James. I've not recorded it yet, but it is coming. Second half is about to kick off here. Croatia and Belgium have 45 minutes. Belgium have got 45 minutes to rescue their World Cup, or they're coming home. Can they do it? I actually just don't know, is the honest answer. I do not know whether they can do it or not. It was 2006 when they played that game. Right, players are coming out second half here. We'll get a goal in the second half. We've had a lot of 0-0s at half time, but we will get a goal in the second half. Guaranteed. Sorry, I've just got to send this picture to someone. Why does it keep doing that? Let's get ready to go for the second half. There we go. Lukaku is on. Lukaku is on. Oh my Christ. It's like something out of the fucking 70s. I wish I could tell you what I'm talking about, but it would be really bitchy, and I'm not that sort of person. The Solomon Islands would likely have a playoff to get into the World Cup, and New Zealand would qualify in a 48-team World Cup. That's horrifying, says Road to Dawn. Yeah, I don't know who the extra spaces go to. Extra spaces 2026 World Cup. Let's have a look what they're going to do. So the Asian Football Confederation currently has 4.5 spots in the 2022, and they'll have 8 1/3. So that's going to nearly double. African currently has 5. That's going to go up to 9. North America currently has 3.5, and that'll go up to 6. Don't know why they're doing it in halves. UEFA, Europe, has 13 at the moment. It's going to go up to 16. So only 3 more from Europe get to qualify. So, I mean, that's funny in itself, isn't it, really? The World Cup is going to go from 32 teams to 48, which is an increase of 16. And the most dominant area, Europe, is only getting 3 spots out of 16. So Europe's getting less than 20%. So it doesn't really benefit Europe at all, and it doesn't really make any sense. I mean, with all due respect, you're better off getting an extra European team quality rise than a North American team. But yeah, Belgium are going for it now. Says Smoked. Thank you very much, pal. Lukaku heads it on the back post straight at the keeper. Ollie says, why is Rom sweating already? He's always been like that. It doesn't mean he's not fit. He's just always been that. It's a World Cup to get everyone involved, says Abdi. Yeah, because getting everybody involved really is a lesson in history about how to increase the quality, isn't it? Reminds me of my my school sports day moan. You know, I went to one of my daughter's school sports days about 7 years ago, and I noticed that the child that was winning the race, everyone was getting a sticker. So I went and asked about it, and they said it's not about the winning. It's about fairness. So when a race is run, we don't just celebrate the winner, we celebrate everybody as a winner. And I said, but they don't win. And they said, but that's not what we're trying to promote. We're promoting everybody's a winner. And I said, but when they get older and they go for a job and they don't get it, the person who's giving the job out isn't going to give them all a job and say everyone's a winner. He's going to give it to the best person. You're setting them up to fail. Hi Mark, sent you a personal message on Instagram because it would let me send it here. Says Logan, you'll be very lucky if I read it on Instagram. Nicola, thank you. I will call you out. So what I've just said there about if you've got a race and everybody gets first prize, even if they're crap at the end, I prefer it where people are rewarded for winning. Nicola says it's an awful mentality, and this is why these things happen, because people like Nicola probably vote for this sort of shit, where we live in a world where you can have a race and everybody gets first prize instead of actually promoting talent. We'll end up with a football world in 20 years where I'm as good as Messi. I'll be 90 and I'll still win the Ballon d'Or because I took part. Life's competitive in certain areas. Why hide it? Mark, you're right. But in 12, 16 years, it will be improve the quality of players for the smaller nations. So I think this is the goal of the World Cup. AMK, I disagree. San Marino have been playing World Cup qualifiers all my life. They're still fucking shit. Their quality has not improved at all. I like your point, AMK, but I don't agree with it. I don't think opening the door to more countries makes them get better. What about the Six Nations? Italy have been in the Six Nations rugby for years. They're still the whipping boys. They still get beat every time. They're not getting any better. Hi, Mark. What do you think of the Moroccan team? I'm very impressed with them, Abdi. Very, very impressed. Somebody said, can you do a demographic poll? Well, people will... I mean, I can try it. I can only do 4. So, Europe, Asia, North America. And what do you want me to do as the last one? I can only do 4. I'm going to do Africa. I don't think we'll have many people watching from South America for some reason. Where are you watching from? Let us know. Should have done Antarctica, says Ronan. Sorry about anybody who didn't get used, but for some reason YouTube only let you do four options on polls. Could have done Australia as well, which is not a continent. You can't compare school children to high-level sports, says Road to Dawn. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. My point is, when you put San Marino in the World Cup or you put Luxembourg in the World Cup qualifiers, you're wasting everybody's time. They are not getting any better because they are ridiculously small populations and their football is not getting any better. They cannot compete. They're living the dream. They're living the dream when they play against England or France, but they're not getting any better. It's low level sport that shouldn't even be taking place. It's exactly the same as giving everybody a medal because they took part. Good shots. Ooh, save. I get that people disagree. That's the whole point. But what I'm saying is, in my opinion, we're wasting our time making the World Cup bigger and bigger and bigger because you'll dilute the quality. Personally, I used to love the Euros. Here's my point. This is where I'm coming from. My favourite Euros format was 16 teams. The Euros were fucking brilliant when it was 16 teams. You had 4 groups of 4, and then you went into the quarterfinals, and that was it. Another good save by the keeper there from Modric this time. Dink to the back. Oh, too high. the Euros when it was 16 teams was brilliant. Every group was really hard, like because you only had 16 teams in it. So the group stage, you couldn't take your eye off it, and then you went straight into the quarterfinals. It was brilliant. But what did they do? What's the Euros now? They've diluted the tournament for me. The qualifying was better because only 16 teams qualified. So your qualifiers, I think people are getting mixed up here. They're going, oh yeah, but we want more teams. We want it to be fairer. But is that not? Remember, people have to qualify for the World Cup. If 48 teams have got to qualify for the World Cup, how bad are the qualifiers going to be? I mean, who's not going to qualify, you know? I loved the Euros when it was 16 teams because qualifying for the Euros was really difficult. And then when you got there was no shit games. It was just a brilliant tournament. How many teams do we get in the Euros now? And it is all about money. I agree with JT. I think they hide behind, oh, it's all about giving everybody a chance and we want it to be for everybody. But actually, it's about the money, isn't it? More teams equals more crap games. "55 minutes gone, still 0-0. Croatia have been the better team for the last few minutes, but Belgium did start the second half quite well. A goal for either of the... Well, a draw puts Belgium out. A goal for Belgium puts Croatia out because Morocco are cruising in first place at the moment. If Croatia want to top the group, they need to score a goal. As things stand, Croatia would be playing whoever tops the group tonight because Croatia would be in second place. So Croatia, I mean, it's probably going to be Germany or Spain anyway, so there's not really a massive difference. "Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger," says Mister. It's Thierry Henry doing the subs. Ernie says, same as the Women's Euros, 16 teams. And why do you think the Women's Euros has 16 teams in it? I think it's because they don't have enough quality teams to make it a bigger tournament yet. And I think it will increase the more women's football develops, like it is developing at a very fast rate. But at the moment, I think they keep it down. I love the Champions League when it just used to be the champions. Now Graham, this is where this is where the traffic light system comes in. Not everything is green and red. There is in between, and you don't need to be one rule for one thing doesn't make the other thing better. I think I would love the Euros to be 16 teams because the tournament is so much better. I would love the World Cup to stay with 32 teams because I think the tournament is better. But I don't agree with the Champions League just being for the champions. And I know some people do. I completely disagree with that. I think the Champions League is so much better in its current format. The fact is the Premier League's the best league in the world. So it's better to have 4 Premier League teams, 4 La Liga teams than have one Austrian team, 1 English team, 1 French team, 1 Swiss team. I think the Champions League actually does work well because it promotes the best teams in Europe rather than one team from each country. Norway hasn't been in the World Cup since '98. Team is starting to get better, but if we can't qualify to a 32 team, there is no point, says Kiki. And remember, Europe only gets 3 more spots in a 48 one. So everybody who's thinking, oh, Ireland are going to qualify, or Scotland, or Sweden, or Norway, or Turkey, or Italy, well, straight away you're wrong, because only 3 more teams from Europe are qualifying. So Europe qualification is still going to be difficult for the World Cup. The 48-team World Cup basically means they're chucking the World Cup qualifiers and the World Cup itself into one tournament, says Sam. Well, they won't though, will they? We still will have the World Cup qualifiers. Remember when Norway beat Honduras 12-0? That's the quality of games we'll get with the 48-team World Cup, says Havoc. I agree with what Snowflake says. I don't like the idea that you finish third in the Champions League and you drop down into the Europa League. I think that's wrong. I mean, it's great when it benefits you, but it belittles the qualifying of the Europa League stage. I don't agree with that. I think the Europa League should be its own tournament. And the reason I say that is because if you win the Europa League, you go into the Champions League. So why is it fair that Barcelona, who messed up the Champions League and came third, drop into the Europa League and get a chance of coming back in the Champions League, which they'll get from their local league anyway? I remember seeing a kids' race where the winner was given a winner sticker and one of the losing kids was crying, so was given a rosette. Spoiled, says Glenn. I actually feel sorry for the kid. Oh, great chance. Lukaku got post. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe it's not 1-0 to Belgium. Carrasco, I thought, was going to score. And somehow the keeper saved it. It bounced about. And Lukaku hits it with his right foot, which is not his strong foot. And how's he missed it, says Ben Evans. I don't know how has he missed this. How has Lukaku missed this? Oh, he's got to score. He's got to score that. I mean, the defender's in the way. I think the defender's in the way. He's got to whip it round him, to be fair. I'd like to see it from behind. Now, Croatia are getting a little bit nervous because the way this game is gone, if Belgium score and then park the bus, it could be a problem. No, I mean, going back to that, you're at school sports day, the winner gets a sticker, and then the person who comes last starts crying. I do feel sorry for them. I do feel sorry for them. I am an empathetic person. I do have a heart. And I do feel sorry for that child that is crying because they're in last place. But what lesson should they get? Should they get a lesson that, you weren't very good, you came last, and now you've got a sticker? Or is it a life lesson that you need to learn that you won't always win? And your lesson, you're actually learning a better lesson now, that it's what you do with losing that defines you as a person. It's not what, in life, for many people, it's not how many mountains you climb. It's how many times you get up when you fall down the mountain. And look, there are unfortunately, life is hard. People die. Tragedies happen. You don't win school races. You don't get the job you want. And he's done it again! Oh, he's done it again! Lukaku again! He's done it again! He's just missed another one! He's literally 6 yards out! Oh my God, this is even worse. What a cross by De Bruyne. Oh my God! Blame the ball! Blame the ball, Rom. The ball was out. The ball was out anyway. The cross was out. Thank God for that. Oh my God. That would be one of the best misses ever. It's an open goal on his head and he's headed it over the bar. But it wouldn't have been a goal because De Bruyne's cross had just gone out of play. But 2 big chances for Belgium. It's lighting up a little bit now. Timo. Oh, well, at least we're getting a bit of entertainment now. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, we, of course, have got the 7 o'clock games live for you as well. Costa Rica, Germany, and Spain against Japan. I mean, we're expecting comfortable wins for Germany and Spain, and they both go through. But you never know in this World Cup. It might not happen like that. Croatia on the attack now. It's a better second half. Better second half. It's the ball again. Yeah, but just going back to that, I just want to close that off. So, yeah, I feel sorry for if you're at a sports day or anywhere, or if you go for a job and somebody gets it and somebody doesn't, I'll always feel sorry for the person that doesn't get it. It's like coming last in a race, isn't it? But I think that's just life. I don't think you can just... I think we live in a society where everyone wants to make it fair. You can't make life fair. Life at its very core is not fair. It's not, is it? Life's not fair. Every day there is injustice. Maybe it's in your household, maybe it's in another country. Life isn't fair. I would love to get to a point where life was fair, but how do you... I'm back again. I got silenced. I got silenced by the snowflakes there. But look, I'll close it off and say this. I think the lesson for the person who comes last place and is upset is far better to get an explanation of life being about struggles and you don't always get what you want, rather than you came last, here's a sticker. I think you're not helping that person there. I don't think you are helping that person if you give them a sticker for coming last place. I think their best lesson is to learn that, you know, you've got to work hard to get what you want, and sometimes even that won't be enough. There we go. Let's move on. Do you rate Lukaku, Marks, as Big Daddy? Oh, Christmas Hotel is on Channel 5. Oh, here we go again. This happened last night, so I've lost BBC Two now, so I can watch Christmas Hotel on Channel 5. Will and Grace. Gamora's very good. I could watch that on Sky Atlantic. What else? Top Gear on Dave. Friends on Comedy Central. A Touch of Frost on ITV. The Professionals on ITV4. God, you know you're retired, don't you? You really know you're retired when you look at afternoon TV. Retired or... Oh, I don't want to say it. Yeah. Absolute shite. 24 minutes to go. I didn't see what was on UK Gold. Last of the summer wine. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, definitely for the retired. We were watching Canada Morocco on here, weren't we? Let's get it on. Let's get it on. I went to a game in Morocco. Fans are boss, says Zach. I'm really pleased for Morocco. They've got some good players, and realistically, they are the dark horses of the tournament at the moment, aren't they? I mean, Morocco are going to play probably Germany, which will be a very hard game for them. There's nothing wrong with being unemployed. People are saying the only people who are watching that shit is the elderly or the unemployed. Modric with the shots. I wouldn't have a pop at the unemployed. I've been unemployed. You know, there's nothing. Yeah, I mean, look. I think people think of unemployed and they think of lazy, and there are people who just don't want to work. Of course there are, but a lot of people are unemployed for various reasons. They might have been made redundant. You know, they might not be able to get a job. There's some things you don't joke about, and I'm not going to joke about that. People are now waiting for a punchline, aren't they? I'm not. I'm genuinely not going to I'm not going to joke about it. S1 says the disappointing of losing drives you on to win elsewhere. This is what we are taking away from these kids. Yeah, I agree. You're setting them up to fail because they're going to be at school being told it doesn't matter. It's not about winning. It's about the taking part. Then they leave school, try and get a job, and realise, what? You've not given me the job. What lesson is this that I'm getting at 18 or 21? The lesson you should have got at 10. It's like waking up on Christmas Day morning thinking you're getting a Mega Drive, and then actually you're getting a bloody tape recorder. And yes, that happened to me. But it's a lesson that you don't always get what you want. I've just been made redundant today, Mark. Any tips, says Alexander. Alexander, I don't know whether you're joking or being serious, but if you're being serious, look, you know, at the end of the day, things have a funny way in life of working it out. So, you know, take stock, don't get stressed, and pragmatically look at your options and what you're going to do next. You know, even in the short term, you could just go and get a job working in Tesco or B&Q or something like that. Keep the money coming in, keep yourself busy, something like that. Especially Christmas. Only lesson they learnt, Mark, was they get what they want if they make a fuss because their mummy was friends with the teachers, says Glenn. Well, parenting's got a lot to answer for, hasn't it? And it always has done. I went to school with kids whose parents just basically must have took them home from school, sat them in the kitchen and said, you are the best, you're the best, everything revolves around you. I don't think that helps either. People can't forget Brexit causes this recession, says LXG. 100% true, mate, says Alexander. We've hit 850k, says Talal. Thanks very much, everyone. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And we can bring that back to football. You know, at the end of the day, there'll be a lot of Belgian fans not very happy with this World Cup, but you need to learn from it. You know, just because you've got Kevin De Bruyne doesn't mean that you're automatically going to get into the knockout stage. You've got to work hard. And if you don't make it, you've got to look at it and go, you know, you're not going to say it's not fair. It is fair. You've got to look at what you do. The reason you're not in the quarterfinals or the knockout stage is because Martinez is a crap coach. Now, you still might do it in the next 20 minutes, but you can't just expect it. You've got to work hard. You know, you've got to put the fundamentals in place. Things don't just happen, you know? Some of the best lessons I learned was actually at Christmas, I might not get what I want. I might not get a Mega Drive. I might not get an Amiga. You know, I might not get a brand new bike. In fact, I probably wasn't going to get that because, you know, money wasn't there for it to happen. And they're very valuable lessons because when you do get the things you want, you value them and you realise the work it's taken to get that. I would hate people to not learn those lessons when they're growing up because it's not about not having those things. It's not about being poor. It's about how rounded you become as an individual to know the good and bad and the fair and the unfair. And if people just keep giving you stuff and giving you stuff and giving you stuff, what lessons are you learning? Doku's coming on. Carrasco's coming off and Dendonka's coming off. I mean, this is another player. Doku and Tielemans, why are they not starting? Jordan says, well done on 850k. Much love from USA. Thanks, everyone. We're creating a snowflake generation. No resilience anymore, says Alex G. People need to learn how to bounce back from disappointment. That's how life works, says Alex G. Well, it works in football as well. Let's bring it back to football because we are watching the football. 20 minutes to go here. Morocco are top. And as you can see, Croatia are second. But 1 goal for Belgium and Croatia are out. Speaking to Paul Ince about this when he was on the United stand. And I was said to Paul, you know, we don't really have the Gerrards or the Keanes or the Paul Inces in the midfield anymore. You know, we don't have those tough players. And he said, well, it's because life's different. You know, we all came from hard working class backgrounds where you've got to fight for everything, and that comes across in your personality as a footballer. It sets you up for life. You retain those things in your adult life that you learn as a child. And if you think about it, Gary Neville, David Beckham, they were cleaning the boots of Mark Hughes and Cantona when they were like 17. You know, they were earning shit money. There were Man United youth players earning shit money, cleaning the boots of the first team players. You look at a 17-year-old player for Man United now, they ain't cleaning anyone's boots. They've probably got a boot deal. They're probably on 2 or 3 grand a week. What was better? What world was better for development of football players with character? The one where the youth players are, you know, cleaning the boots of the older players and, you know, working hard, or this current world we live in where you're on 2 or 3 grand a week, you've never kicked a ball for the first team, and you've got a boot deal. I'm not saying which is better, I'm just saying, you know, it's a different world, isn't it? Ronan, you're blocked. Sorry, mate. You're gone. We're creating yeah, thank you very much for that super chat. And they should have a tournament for the lower ranked nations. Then the winner of that can enter the major tournament, like Europa for the Champions League, says Tom Boone. And Mam says that's why Brazil always produces top players, because there's still a lot of poverty in Brazil and those principles still exist. Do you think you're going to get a 0-0, Goldbridge? We haven't had a 0-0 in a week. We're not having a 0-0. We're not having a 0-0. What's going to happen is we're going to get a late goal. Tough times create tough people. Tough people create easy times. Easy times create soft people. Soft people create tough times. Harry, you're back. Well, you're back in the Goldbridge agrees with you, gang. I love that. I'm going to read it again. Tough times create tough people. Tough people create easy times. Easy times create soft people. Soft people create tough times. It's poetry. Harry, you've actually given me goosebumps. I'm going to read it again. Tough times create tough people. Tough people create easy times. Easy times create soft people. And soft people create tough times. It's the circle, is what Harry's trying to say. Also, we've had a super chat come in from Thomas. He says, Mark, it's more about promoting interest football in developing nations in Africa and Asia, not fairness, says Thomas. I don't think that's what it's about at all. I think it's about money. I don't think FIFA give a shit about developing football in Africa or anywhere else and giving 48 teams in the World Cup. I think they care about money. I mean, this World Cup exposes what FIFA cares about. The only reason the World Cup's in Qatar is because FIFA got greedy. And I'm not blaming Qatar for that. The World Cup's here and we're enjoying it. But what I'm saying is, let's not pretend FIFA are on some moral crusade. $15 minutes to go. Of course, Morocco at the moment are fine and will be fine. The only way Morocco would need to worry is if they started losing to Canada and they're 2-1 up. How's the game been? As far as 0-0s go, it's been all right. Clem says that's one of my favourite sayings. That I don't think I've ever heard it, Clem. Every day's a school day. Australia are going to win the World Cup, says Jack. Well, you're not wrong at the moment because you're still in it. So don't let anybody tell you any different. You're like that person who's last, but the race isn't over. You could still win the race. I think we'll get a late goal here. And I hope it's Croatia because I really don't want Belgium to go through. I think they're so bloody boring. But they might do it. I'm a teacher and I see how entitled this generation is every day, says the HPN. Parents blame everyone else but their kids. De Bruyne with the cross. It's a good header. Oh, good defending. Goes for a corner. Thought Hazard was going to get that. What have you got for tea tonight? Well, it's a bit of a specialist thing, actually. We found it as a recipe a few years ago, and we have it, probably once a month in the winter months. It's a very nice thing. I'll tell you about it in a minute, but there's a corner here. What's your favourite World Cup song, says Akshay? World in Motion by New Order. Goal kick. So basically what it is, right, you get some potatoes, you cube them, and then you roast them. You get a red cabbage, you cube that. You get 3 red onions, you cube them. You put them into the oven with some hot oil and basically 20 minutes. Then you mix it with the roast potatoes, put bacon on the top, put it back in the oven. You put some vinegar on the top as well, and then you season it. And then out it comes, and then you've sort of got these squared roast potatoes with what has now become roasted red cabbage and onion, and then bacon, and then you fry a couple of eggs, put them on the top. Lovely stuff. Nice autumnal dish. Yeah, the vinegar just gives it a little bit of a kick. White vinegar, white wine vinegar, only a capful. If you get the potatoes nice, it's lovely. Oh, back post cross, Croatia. Hi, Mark. I'm a massive Brighton fan. What are your thoughts on Trossard and Brighton and Hove Albion, says Arthur. Well done for being a Brighton fan. It must be fantastic. Potter was brilliant, and I like your new manager as well. So one thing you can get, Brighton, lovely place to live, and also a nice community club that is entertaining. You can't ask for much more. I think Trossard's a good player, and I think he could play for a top 4 club. I believe he'll probably leave you in the summer, won't he? Because he's out of contract the year after, I think. Barry says 16/19 people in primary school class. Fathers were farmers, 3 of us. We're actually taught how to farm by our fathers and showed us how to work and weren't given it easy. Dad's a legend for teaching me. There you go, Barry. I think, honestly, I mean, I'm not here to divulge private life, but I think some things, can be quite useful. And one of the things, my middle daughter plays football, and I've spoken to her a few times and said that, I've had it before where she's had a bad game and she's come off and gone, oh, the referee was terrible, it should have been a foul, it's not fair. And the lesson I try and get across is that play to the whistle, and it's a life lesson as well. Play to the whistle, because you won't always get the decisions on a football pitch that you deserve, but if you let it get in your head that it's not fair and you're looking for justice, you're going to fail. If the referee doesn't give you the penalty you deserve, are you going to moan about it for 30 minutes and let it affect your game, or are you just going to get on with it and go again? Life's not fair. Football's not fair. It's how you react to that, and it's how you let it react to you. These people that are spoilt or haven't learnt good life lessons, they're going to spend a lot of their time moaning about something that, no one's going to give a shit about. 10 minutes to go. Still 0-0, Croatia and Belgium. Belgium heading out at the moment, which I think is a good thing because Martinez is a prat, but they still have time. A goal for Belgium puts Croatia out. A goal for Croatia puts themselves top of the group. I've had a horrible day. Please make me laugh, says Nelly. I don't know how to, Nelly. I can't turn it on like a tap, unfortunately. I tell you what, I'll tell you a story that might be interesting for you, Nelly. Mark, you're my hero. Been following you almost every day since the wedding night, Dick, in Paris. You're a true inspiration. That's one of the worst lines I've ever said, Matthias. I hate that line, but I know what you're on about. Thanks for the super chat, pal. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. I was speaking to a mate of mine who's Irish today, and I was asking him about his Christmas do, whether he's got a Christmas do. He lives in Ireland, and he said, yeah, they've got it in Dublin. And he said, I can't be asked to spend money on a hotel, though, so I'll probably just get the last train. So I'll have to do an Irish goodbye. Well, an Irish goodbye, I don't know whether it's called an Irish goodbye. An Irish goodbye is when you're at a party or you're out in a pub and you basically say, I'm going to the toilet. And then you go to the toilet and you just walk out with saying goodbye to anyone. My kids are older, but this year, instead of gifts, they're sponsoring a family who needs a Christmas. I couldn't be prouder, says Brian. Lovely, lovely stuff. Yeah, so it's when you disappear. I've played the game, Jeffrey. I've played the game. Croatia on the attack. Now, I've done this a lot. I didn't know it was called an Irish goodbye. It's probably called a French exit. So I knew there was another one. I never knew it as a French exit or an Irish goodbye, but I've done it loads. And sometimes it works really well. It works really well at work parties where you don't necessarily know everybody, because you could be in between conversations and people might not miss you. It works terribly badly if you're out with 3 of your mates. You go to the toilet and you just disappear because they're going to notice. But yeah, the Irish goodbye. Well, whatever it's been called, it's called going home, says Ryan. Yeah, but I've done it quite a few times. Why do I like doing it? There's something quite powerful and independent about going, I've had enough. I don't want to go around the room saying goodbye to everyone. That's going to add 10 minutes. There's just something about it. Oh, I'm just going, and I'm going on my own terms. I had a routine, really. I'd have a good night, I'd have a good few drinks, and then when I've had enough, I don't want to be there. About 1 o'clock in the morning, I'd be like, I don't really want to be here for another 2 hours. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go to my normal kebab shop, and I'm going to get myself some chicken kebab meat and chips, douse it in ketchup and mayo, a big can of Vimto, and I'm going to sit there pissed and just devour it for half an hour. And that's what I used to do. That to me was my dream night at Christmas. Go out with the lads, have a few drinks, have a bit of a dance, get tanked up, and then about 1 o'clock, go to the toilet, just walk out on my own terms, Irish goodbye, go to the kebab shop, sit in there for half an hour eating it, taxi home. Sounds lovely, says, and it was. I didn't want to be saying bye to everyone or them coming with me. I don't want to share that moment with anybody. I just want to sit on my own, having my kebab, pretty pissed, and, you know, look forward to a family Christmas. Side netting and corner for Belgium. 5 minutes to go. I think we're going to get it. I do like a lamb doner kebab, but I love chicken meat and chips at a certain stage of drunk. I'm the star in my movie, and you should be the star in yours. I'm going for a kebab and chips after this do, and I'm going to look forward to it. You're not invited. And then you look at your phone and they're like, where have you gone? Where have you gone? Fuck off. I'm not even going to reply. No, to be honest, I didn't even used to get those messages because I think people knew. They knew it was Goldbridge time. Hi, mate. You all right?
What have you been doing?
Watching football.
How long?
Oh, 85 minutes.
What? Was that for the whole day?
No, just an hour, 2 hours.
200 hours.
I sense a Belgium goal here. Cross comes in. Back post. Oh, deflects off Vardiel, and it could have gone in the bottom corner. It goes for a goal kick. No, it goes off Lukaku again. I thought it was Vardiel. It's Lukaku's foot. Mark, what's the drunkest you've ever been, says Dietrich? Oh, don't. Getting drunk's not clever. You learn it as you get older. You just get to a level and you stop. I used to be, in my late teens, I used to think the idea of getting drunk was just drink as much as you can until you threw up. And every week I'd be throwing up. I haven't thrown up from drink for decades. That's not clever. The worst I've ever been, and I was hungover for about a year, was I went to a party at a pub and I'd had about 7 pints and I'd have been about 17. So 7 pints is a lot when you're 17. Came out of this private party, went into the main bar. Intention was to go home, and this lad said, try this. And it was called meths, and it was basically like lemonade. It was the time of Alco Pops. So I'd had 7 pints. I was pissed, and he gave me this bottle of, I think it was called meths, and it tasted like lemonade, and it tasted really nice. And I drank about 6 of them, and the alcohol content was the same as a pint. So I basically drank about 13 pints. Oh God. I've never been that hungover in my life. I was absolutely... And needless to say, I threw up as well. 2 minutes to go. De Bruyne's got a free kick to whip in. They've gone short. No. Taylor says no. I don't know what it was called. I know people are saying crystal meth and all that stuff. I'm sure it was called that. It wasn't called crystal meth. It was called it was an Alco Pop at the end of the day. Tom Grant says, what's your favourite spirit, Mark? Rum and Coke all the way. I do like a rum and Coke at the end of the night as a sort of nightcap. Yeah. Not every night. Just if you've been out for a few drinks down the pub. You know, get home, load of ice, nice rum, you know, cracking, or even a spice Captain Morgan's all right. Bit of Coke, a cola, or Pepsi or whatever. That's nice. I used to like Jack Daniels and Coke when I was in my teens, but I find it... Nah, not anymore. How long is he going to add on? Because there's a minute to go. Good running here. Oh, unlucky. Belgium are going to have to push it now. Kovacic tracks back. Canada have had a chance as well. Morocco top of the group at the moment, and Croatia second. But Belgium goal would put them through. It's still going. Lovely play by Doku. Gets it wide. Oh, it's a bad first touch. Cross is good. Oh, Lukaku again. What is Lukaku on? Check him out. He's missed about 3 sitters. Comes to the back post. Keeper misses it. Oh my God. Why doesn't he head it? Why does he control it with his chest? He couldn't hit the ocean from above. I genuinely don't know what he's doing with that one. You know, you don't try and control it from... He's only adding 4 minutes on. You don't try and control it with your chest when you're like 2 meters out. Just whack it in with your hip or something. Uh, 3 minutes for Croatia to hold on. 3 minutes for Belgium to score? Agent Lukaku. Thoughts on Theo not finishing his challenge, says Matt. I don't have any thought. I'm not really... When I go on Instagram and I see even the influencers I like at Qatar, I just don't look. I'm not interested because I know what it's all about. So I'm not really interested in, oh, it's amazing, this, that, and the other. I think the Qatar experiences I am interested in are the genuine fans who've gone out there with their own money. Manu in Melb, thank you very much for the super chat. 7 o'clock games tonight. Costa Rica against Germany and Spain against Japan. I can't see Germany. Lukaku again nearly gets there. That was a great tackle. I feel Belgium are going to do this. I do. Yeah, I think the 7 o'clock games should be a straightforward win for Germany against Croatia, qualify, and then a straightforward win for Spain against Japan, qualify. But a Japan draw or even a win could make it very interesting. Bardiel's been very good, I agree with Wraith. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We are back for the 7 o'clock games, of course. Tomorrow, somebody said what's going on tomorrow. Well, it's the final group games, and they look a bit like this. Brazil are going to go through, but the interesting game is Serbia-Switzerland, because you'd expect Brazil to beat Cameroon. Although if Cameroon did beat Brazil, it could be interesting. But Switzerland-Serbia at 7 o'clock is very interesting. In the afternoon tomorrow, Portugal are through, but South Korea play Portugal. Ghana, Uruguay, still an opportunity for Uruguay if they beat Ghana to jump past them. And South Korea as well if they could get something against Portugal, which is not impossible. I don't think Portugal are amazing. So that's an interesting scenario as well there. We've still got about a minute left here for Belgium. I think Japan can get a result, says Manu in Melbourne, and says, come on, the Australian. Look, anything's possible, but I wouldn't expect Spain to lose to Japan. Because, you know, Spain are a possession-based team, so it's harder to beat them, but it's not impossible. They should have a tournament. I've done that from Tom. Still time for Belgium. Modric has booted it, and it's Croatia on the attack. He's got to go for the corner, surely. Nice ball. No. Great defending by Belgium. It could have been a goal. Still 5 seconds to go. De Bruyne. And he's blown early. He's blown early. And we've had another 0-0. So it's the 6th 0-0 of the tournament. I'm very surprised that we've got a 0-0 in the third group game here. Very, very surprised. Morocco topped the group. And the world record for 0-0s in the World Cup is 7. We've had number 6. before the knockout stage, so we might break it. But Belgium go out. Lukaku looks devastated. Croatia and Morocco go through. Kevin De Bruyne are probably happy to be going back to Man City. And I think there's so much talent in that Belgium side. And Martinez is picking dinosaurs. They deserve to go out. They deserve to go out. I've got no sympathy for Belgium. My only sympathy for Belgium is with the players and the people of Belgium. When you put a Pratt in charge like that and he's picking Jurassic Park FC and you've got people like Tillemans, Doku, Faze, De Ketelaere, there's another couple of players I can't think of who come to mind. And he's picking people like Alderweireld and Wits. I mean, Witsel's been crap in that tournament, by the way. Alderweireld, Witsel, Dendoncker, Mounier, Vertonghen. It's ridiculous how he's picked a team that old when you've got good... Yeah, Trossard's another one, isn't it? You know, you've got good young players. If I was De Bruyne, I'd be bloody fuming because he plays for Man City and he knows that at Man City it's a vibrant team. He's playing for Belgium with a load of dinosaurs and then there's people on the bench who are exciting. I mean, Doku, when he came on, barely played in this World Cup, looked exciting. Ridiculous team selections. I'd be bloody fuming if I was Belgian. Absolutely fuming. And you've gone out by 1 point. It's almost sabotage. But well done to Morocco. Really, really good result for them. What does it mean for Morocco? Well, I'll tell you what it means. I'm going to tell you right now. In the knockout stage, Morocco go into the... where did Morocco go? What group was that? That was Group F. Group F. So Morocco go into England's side of the group. Morocco will play in England's side of the group, pushing Croatia to the other side of the group. So Morocco will probably play Germany. There we go. Exactly. Fantastic. Okay, well, look, thanks everyone for tuning in. We did hit 850k. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Remember, we're back at 6:45 for Germany against Costa Rica and Spain against Japan. If Spain beat Japan, they'll top the group, and if Germany beat Costa Rica, they will come second and play Morocco, whereas Spain will play Croatia on the other side of the group. That's what we're looking at there. Thanks everyone for watching. Interesting watch along. Another 0-0, 5-6, 6 0-0s now. We've not had a 0-0 for 6 days, and we got the 6th 0-0 today. Take care, everyone, and we'll speak to you for the next ones at 7 o'clock. Take care.